What it do is, baby, hold on, I wonder, let me host up somewhere real quick and try to set up this gimbal and see if this works better than this, because holding the phone, oh, no lie, while driving is kind of inconvenient. I don't like it, and I have this fancy gimbal that I've been wanting to try it out anyway, and this is a perfect excuse. I need to shave my head, but I'll be right back. So I never completed the earlier part of the video because my cameras were dead and I recharged them, but I think I'm just gonna make that video when it's all like better, because we're gonna detail it this week. But for now, I'm gonna clean it up, get all this like moss and everything, probably give it a quick vacuum, just kind of spruce it up a little bit. We're gonna try to restore those headlights too, but just get her looking better. But I'll do the rest of the video when she's actually looking clean, all the cinematic shit. So come to find out, this car is not black. It's like this weird gray metallic with like this blue sparkle in it. Like, I know you can't really see it right now, but it already looks so much better, dude. Holy shit, just needed some love. I can't wait to buff this car and get the headlights all figured out and everything. It's about to look good, man. I'm excited about this car. After like cleaning it and looking at it, I have plans for this car. I have something that I want to do that's different to this car than all the other cars that I've done, but I have a vibe in mind, most definitely. All right, y'all, so we're gonna go on a little drive home in the new E39. As you can see here, only 137 on the dash, no check engine lights as of yet. I'll knock on some fake wood. This car is spec'd super nicely. So it has, I have to think a teen. So it has the sports seats. So this can go in and out for extra leg support to keep your legs from getting tired on long drives. It's actually really nice. I drive with it out. It's got the heated seats, which also work fantastically. It's got AC, heater is busting almost too well. I keep that down. It does have the M package, so it has the M Sport wheel. It has the Style 5s, and this color, I don't necessarily think I've personally seen another E39 in this color. And when I was looking up numbers, I found numbers for the E39 wagons, so like the 540 ITs, and then the M5s. And in this color, in this year, both of those cars were rare. Like in below, I don't know why it does that. It starts really working too hard. Both below like 10 units type shit. So, again, you can't really see it in this lighting, but it is black sapphire metallic. So I don't think I've seen an E39 in this color before. If anyone knows like specs, especially like numbers, that would be greatly appreciated. Like for this setup, that would be cool, because I'm just kind of curious, because I think I kind of found like a diamond in the rough. But I'm gonna grab my other camera real quick because I forgot it inside, and then we'll get to the driving. Car's in, pretty good condition considering the fact that it's a 2003. No rips in the seats or anything. Still have like the factory manual, factory light. I haven't checked to see if the toolkit's intact. But I've definitely, honestly, this would be perfect if it was a manual. Like I would never want to change anything on it if it was a manual. That would be really cool. But whatever. Other than that, everything else is really cool. I love the heated seats. I've had 2 E39s before this, if you count my girls, 3. None of them have had heated seats. So that is something that's really cool, something that I enjoy personally, because I like luxury cars for, well, the luxury. And my first BMW ever was a 5 Series. It was an E60 2004. I wish I would have never gotten rid of that car, but it started having a lot of issues, and I was like 18, and I did not have BMW money. It was a 530. It was a factory 6-speed, which was cool. That was my favorite part about it. That and the B30 engine, really torquey, super torquey. You know, probably not gonna be as torquey as like a V8, but there was not. That car was quick. Like, that car had some legs on it, which I got a lot of tickets because of that car, which is why, well, one of the reasons why I've never financed a car. It's kind of blessing and a curse, because I never ended up, when I was younger, financing a car that was way out of my price range, way out of my budget, because I couldn't afford the insurance. You know, like back then I was paying like $350 a month on liability for that same car, because I got like a reckless driving in it. That's a funny story. Hold on, I'll tell that story. So here, I'll just switch the camera around. I know we're supposed to be talking about this car, but I think that's a funny story. So I was, make the red light. I was, what was I, 18? Yeah, 18. I was like fresh out of high school, and I had this 530, and there was this girl at the time that I thought was cute, and you know the old Top Gear saying, nothing turns a 16-year-old, or choose my age, 18-year-old girl on like a well-executed handbrake turn.
That nothing turns a 17-year-old girl on more than a well-executed handbrake turn.
Oh god, yeah, fact. So, you know, that's what I was doing, bro. I was sliding around here, and at the time, like, I came up to this like T intersection that I was really familiar with, because it was right down the street from my house, like literally right down the street. And I get to that turn, and like, if you look right, basically, if you look right, it was kind of a hill that came up. So I couldn't see the car that was down below the hill. I saw headlights, and that's all I saw. And I busted the left, you know, skeeting and skirting. It actually slid pretty well considering it was an open diff. But skeeting and skirting, you know, I was like, what's up, baby? I know how to drive this car right here. Anyway, so I get around the corner, and then I look in the mirror, and I see the headlights. I see the Explorer headlights, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, that's a fucking cop. So he lights me up, which I kind of figured he would. You know, I was on a public road. Granted, it was late at night, and there wasn't anyone else on the road, but I was on a public road. So I was like, I am getting pulled over, and that I did. I got pulled over. So I, you know, pull over to the side of the road into like this neighborhood, and he walks up to the door, and he's like, all right, he's like, so I turn off the car. So I turn off the car. So I roll down the window. So I roll down the window. Give me your keys. I give him my keys. Step out, and I'm like, ah, shit. I'm like, this ain't just a ticket. I thought I was getting a fat ticket. That was not just a ticket. He arrested me. A cool guy though. Cool guy. I'm not gonna say his name or anything, just because like I know some people have weird things against police officers. He was not a bad police officer. I've dealt with bad police officers in my life. You know, I've dealt with the experiences. I get it. I get why there's a negative stigma. But he was a cool guy. He was actually my SRO, my student resource officer at the high school I went to. So him and I had experiences before. Never really me getting in trouble. Not that I didn't get in trouble as a kid. I was just always smart enough to where when shit hit the fan, I was gone. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'm here until I reach a particular line, and once that line is crossed, I'm gone, you know, like Scooby-Doo.
I got it! You have to pull out this locking bar! Hey!
When it turns into a ball of dust. So, I had never really gotten in trouble. You knew me from around school, because before the E60, I had an EG sedan, which I'll also post pictures of right here.
Touch. Talk about my come up, 'cause I've been going all every summer. Pussy wanna put me in a coma. Sipping on that brain degraded, but every I in the lab heavily.
Had an EG sedan on work equip 01s. That thing's it. That thing was hard as fuck, you know. For a high school kid, had clear tail lights, was on 15 by 9.5, negative 15 work equip 01s, stock body, slammed on her nuts. That thing was cool, you know. And I was pretty known around the school for that car because I was the only one at the school, or not the only one. I was like one of 3 kids at school with a modified car, and mine would get stuck on speed bumps and stuff, so people knew who I was. So he pulled me over, got me out the car, put me in cuffs, put me in the back of the car, sat me there for a minute. It felt, realistically, it was probably only like 15-20 minutes, but at the same time, like at that time, especially because it was my first time getting arrested, not that it was the last, but first time getting arrested, it felt like a fucking eternity for me. Because, did I lock this door? I pulled back to work because I feel like I didn't lock the door. It felt like an eternity for me because, I don't know, I was sitting back there and I was just thinking, I'm like, man, I'm like, what am I finna do? My mom's finna kill me, dog. Like, I'm like, I am fucked. I'm gonna have to call her from the booty house and be like, yo, mom, come bail me out. And I was not looking forward to that conversation. So he has me sitting there for, again, what feels like an hour, and then talks to me. He's like, you know what? So I'm gonna be honest with you. He's like, I know you're not a bad kid. He's like, I'm gonna cut you a break. He's like, understand, you did get arrested. Like, there's no change in that. He's like, you got arrested. He's like, you're still getting charged. Your car's still getting impounded. But I don't feel like driving to Seattle right now to book you into the jail. So I'm not going to book you to jail. And there's some other ways, too, that he hooked me up. I'm not going to go into, like, specifics with that. We'll just say he could have like ruined my life there. And he really chose not to. But me and Shorty had to walk home, which was fine. Like I said, I wasn't that far away from my house. It was like a 10-minute walk. I was kind of upset. She was kind of looking at me like, what the fuck? Yeah. I don't know where I was going with that story, but there's that story. Those doors locked right quick, and we're gonna get back to the drive. Anyway, back to what we were doing. I know we already seen this part, but we're going back home. So, this car. I have fallen in love with this car. It's been so long since I've driven a stock E39. Probably since high school, because the homie Brennan used to pay me throughout high school to maintain his E39. It was actually conveniently the same year as this. It was a 2003. That's what this is. The one that I have in the garage is a 2002, and conveniently enough, the one I got arrested with was a 2004. So as you can tell, I like BMW 5 Series. They're probably some of my favorite cars, at least that I've owned. So I have fallen in love with this car. I mean, I loved my last 525. Don't get me wrong, I really did. Oh, and ignore any of the feedback you hear. It's just because for now I'm using a Bluetooth modulator. So that's all that is. That speaker though, the mid and that door is blown, so I need to swap that from the other car. Anyway, so I have really fallen in love with the way that this car drives. It drives fantastic. Like, it's so nice. Like, it's an actual car. And shout out to the homie Matt, man.
Hey, baby.
He's plugged me on so many things, from the last E39 to this E39 to wheels. Real motherfucker, bro. So Matt, if you're watching this, I appreciate you hella. You know I appreciate you. Cause he be hooking me up. He hooks me the fuck up. And honestly, he hooked me up on this because I got this for a way better deal than I realistically should have gotten it for. Granted, she was a little rough, like I'll show you in either the end of this video or the next video, you know, getting it looking spiffy, I guess. Yeah, he hooked me the fuck up because this car is very well maintained. Like I said, low miles for what it is, and especially given what I paid for it. I'm not going to say how much I paid for it, but just know whatever number you probably think I paid for this car in your head, I did not pay that. Because these, as of recently, as of recently, I don't know, at least out here in Seattle, have kind of started to go up in value. And I feel like these are one of the next BMW chassis, because I think currently it's the E46 that everyone's kind of waking up to. I think these are the next ones as the good deal everyone's going to try to hop on before they become outrageously expensive, just like most other cars. So that's one reason why I bought this car. Two, it was a good deal. I'll say that was also really enticing. And conveniently enough, the night that the truck caught on fire, I was gonna go up to his house. That's literally who I was on the way to. I feel like this is more natural fish on my face. One second. Yeah, his house is literally who I was going to, and I guess that night he was gonna ask me if I wanted to buy this car. And before it was probably a maybe, I was already pretty iffy on whether or not I was going to keep the other E39 around, like whether I was going to part it or sell it. Because honestly, the other E39, the 2002 Agony, the one that's been a part of this channel, the first one I got from him, admittedly, I knew it was rough. I'd seen, like I've explained before, I've seen this car for its entire lifespan, at least that he's owned it. And I had seen where it had started and where it was. And that car, especially having damn near 230,000 miles at this point, and the past probably 80,000 of those miles being stanced, she was in rough shape. She was in rough shape. And I really reached a point to where it's like, I've dumped so much money into this car, and no matter, every time I fix something, something else breaks. And I'm like, at this point, I'm either going to have to dump an absurd amount of money to make this chassis good, and this chassis debatably isn't even worth saving, because, I mean, the front subframe is destroyed. That whole front subframe needs to be replaced. The floor plan is fucked up, like it's bad. It had almost rubbed through the gas tank. The filler neck was rubbed through. On top of like, I think I might have when I moved it to my new house, because it had that upper radiator hose issue. I'm leaning more towards the fact that I might have blown the head gasket while driving there. Like I took my time. It took me should have been probably a 35-40 minute drive, especially at the time that I was doing it. It took me 3 hours because I kept stopping whenever it would start to get hot. But the last time I'd run out of coolant, I was almost to the house, and I got there, and it was to the point to where like the smoke filled the entire car. I haven't cracked the drain nut on it to see if the oil's milky, because after that I'd really lost motivation on that car. And I was, like I said, I was really unsure if I was going to keep it. And I was kind of talking about that with like some of the other homies too. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm like, I might roll this for one more summer, and after that, I'm either gonna part it or get rid of it. because it had been such a problem child, and I knew it was going to be a problem child. It's not like the homie Matt sold it to me saying, hey, this is going to be a good car. He's like, hey, this thing's been sitting here for like however the fuck long. It starts, it runs, it does its damn thing. Longevity wise, there's a question mark. The Vanos needs to be rebuilt. And then once the EWS module went out, and I tried hitting up, the homies who work on BMWs, and like some of them actually like work at like BMW specialist shops. And I'm like, do you have a spare EWS module laying around? And then one of them did. And I'm like, can you program it? And he said no. And then I started looking into, okay, how much is it to get this done through BMW? Because you have, to my understanding, you have to get it done at BMW. Because the EWS module is like the factory immobilizer. And you can't just replace the module. You have to replace the keys. You have to replace everything. And the module and the keys themselves, like I think before programming, because that was just like the module and the keys online, $700. BMW out here, I think, charges damn near $200 an hour. They probably wouldn't touch it if I installed it. And that's if they would even touch my car with how heavily modified that it is. All the emission stuff gone. The suspension, that was if they'd even touch it. So I'm like, okay, I'm in $1,500 to fix the EWS, and it still might have a blown head gasket. It still needs the Vanos rebuilt. It still has all these other issues. So I just washed my hands with it. So far, sold the interior on it. Gonna sell like the miscellaneous shit. Keep the stuff that's of value to me, like the coilovers, braided brake lines. Because there's a lot of money spent on that car. Here, I'm turning this light so you can actually see me. There's a lot of money spent on that car. So everything that's worth keeping, obviously keeping. And then all the other miscellaneous stuff. So realistically, if I get 2 to 3 out of selling everything, because I've already gotten about 1,000 out of it, if I get 2 to 3, I'll be happy, because it'll pretty much pay for this car. It served its purpose. I would still make a profit on it, because I only bought that one for $1,500. Granted, I've probably put another couple thousand into it since then, but a lot of that can get moved to this car or be held as spare parts. So it's like not really like I'm losing money on that. Anyway, back to this car. I'm sure I love these BMW 6-cylinders, especially around town. Like, they're not super crazy on the highway. That's when they start to lose steam. But around town, like, they're so torquey and so zippy, and they're really fun cars. And granted, even on the highway, like, it's not like you're struggling to pass people. And I find myself speeding in this car quite frequently, and I don't really speed. So easy. I don't really want to ruin that. And especially because, again, if someone can comment down below a way to find the rarity of this spec, especially because I think that this car is a pretty rare spec, I don't want to ruin it. But at the same time, I don't want to do like an OEM Plus build, because I'm just not an OEM Plus type of guy. I'm not a fucking elitist. I'm not, oh my god, I need this and that. This needs to be strictly BMW. It's not AC Schnitzer. I'm not touching it, Like, granted, I like that stuff. It looks good. It does. I do enjoy that stuff. But I'm not, I'm not an elitist, obviously. I put spokes on the 5 Series. What'd you expect? But I'm not going to stance this car. A, the way that's set up, as far as like spec wise, and B, how nice it drives. Man, I love this car. It drives so fucking nice. I've put like 700 miles on this car already. I did a lot of driving the first 2 days, and wow. I really want to make this, like, for now, especially because it is my daily at the moment, like a fun daily but still a me car. So I have a vision in my head as to how I want to build it. I'm not going to give away everything because it's YouTube and that takes away all the fun of it. So, and my mind can change from now and then, you know, but I have an idea of what route I want to take it, and it's a route that I haven't seen anyone take this car in, and it's a route that I haven't taken my cars in yet either. But I don't want to make it super low. Obviously, it will be lowered. I'm still going to throw the BCs on. I'm still going to throw the camber arms on. I'm still going to throw the tow arms on. But I want to make it have a nice stance to where it's low, but it doesn't scrape. I can still drive around. If I want to take it to Seattle, I can take it to Seattle, you know, whatever. But I want to do that. I'm saving the other motor from the other car. I am going to save that motor. And I am going to use that motor as a way to learn how to rebuild engines. I've never rebuilt an engine before, and I'm like, well, I got a free motor sitting right here. That, and I feel like, especially as time goes on, as to my further point, I feel like M54s are going to start to go up in value too. So having a spare one now, when they're still relatively cheap, and if not buying another spare one, I feel like is the move before they start to get expensive and unobtainable. So I really want to build that motor. I don't want to do like a turbo build. I don't think. I would want to do like either a really high sprung, not really high sprung, obviously, like I want to keep this car drivable. I want to keep this car streetable. But a high sprung, naturally aspirated build. So I don't know if I can swap like, you know, like S54 cams into it, or swap like S54 head, or if I do like a stroker kit on it, or what, or how. I haven't gone into the details that much because I still have to finish the Lincoln first. But build that motor, either high sprung, naturally aspirated motor. Oh, this is my favorite. This is my favorite type of road to drive this car on. We're on like a windy road, and it's so torquey that even going up this hill, like, it's pretty unfazed. I should probably slow down. Anyway, I wonder, these tires either kind of suck in the rain, or I wonder if it has an LSD, because it kicks out a lot more than the other one did, and I don't know why. Yeah, I don't necessarily know why, but I feel it start to break traction a lot more in the rain, and it's not like scary brake traction, like, it's very controllable. And that's one thing I like about these cars, is they are very predictable and they're very confidence inspiring, that even when it kind of misbehaves, it's not really punishing you for it. It's just like, hey, you should probably tone it down a little bit. But yeah, do either a really high sprung, regardless of which way I go, probably like 450 horsepower, you know, something usable on the street. High sprung, naturally aspirated, or supercharged. I don't know, we'll see what my wallet permits, as well as how things go with the channel and everything, and the other things that I'm working with, working on outside of YouTube. We'll see how that all goes, and we'll see how that decides. But I'm keeping the other motor, and I'm just gonna build it over the next year or so. Another thing that I really want to do is, like I said earlier, I want a 5-speed. Girls E39 is a 5-speed, and that car is so fun, man. And I want to do it sooner rather than later, because these came with the ZFs, not the Get Rags. And ZFs are already getting expensive. You know, you used to be able to pick up a ZF for like $500-$700. Now they're going for $1,000, $1,200, $1,500. And I want to, again, make these purchases before this stuff starts to get ridiculously expensive. Especially because ZFs are a really common swap for drift cars, like, you know, automatic E36s. Everyone wants a ZF, because the Get Rags just they're not good transmissions. Sorry, not that they're not good transmissions, but they're not good transmissions to beat on. Like, it'd probably hold up for a little bit, but not super long. So I'm gonna do that. The cosmetic stuff, I'm gonna keep in my head. Again, 1, I don't want anyone stealing my idea. 2, I could change my mind between now and when this actually becomes a reality, because odds are this car won't really get worked on until the winter, or will get worked on beforehand, but it'll be mostly just like swapping parts over and stuff like that. But I really like this car. I enjoy it quite a bit. There's of course things I want to change with it. I'm a car guy, but I enjoy this car quite a bit, and I think, I don't know if I'm going to split it up into 2 videos or if I'm going to make this video longer. Like I said, I'm trying to make these videos more digestible. So the whole cleaning of the car, you know, buffing, cutting and buffing it, doing the inside, I don't think, because it takes like 2 days for a full ceramic to cure, I don't think I'm going to full ceramic it this time around, but at least do a spray ceramic, because that lasts like 7 months. I have a full ceramic kit, but with everything else that I have going on with trying to get the road closed. With trying to get the Lincoln done and everything, I don't think I have the time or the facilities to necessarily have this car down for 2 days, at least at this very moment. So just do like a spray ceramic on it, get the paint shining again. There's some swirls in it, some light scratching, a dent or 2 here or there, but overall not that bad. Clean up the interior, get everything hot water extracted, clean, condition it. I have an interior ceramic kit. Again, I don't know if I'm going to have the time to ceramic the interior, because I don't, you know, I need to use this car. Especially now that the Lincoln's down again. The Lincoln's kind of crunch time at the moment, because we have like a month and a half to get it ready, and granted that's a doable time frame. But at the moment, until the Lincoln's done, I'm not too stressed about doing anything to this car. I'm not too stressed about doing anything to the truck. But yeah, so if I do end the video here, that'll be the end of this video. Everyone like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And if you didn't, well, that's too bad. I wish you did. That's a nice ass house. I've never been in this neighborhood before. I'm just driving around. That's a nice house. I want a house like that. Not really, that driveway sucked, but I do want a big old house like that. Anyway, so yeah, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the new E39. Let me know if you guys know a way of finding how many black sapphire metallic E39s were produced, the 525, because that's what this is. Because I am curious to see how, you know, familiar, or how common? Yeah, how common this color was. But yeah, if I continue the video, then I continue the video and ignore what I just said. But still like, comment, and subscribe. This is Baby Root signing out.